Chris works for a company called Gobble. He is, I believe, the first employee. He'll tell us more when he gets here. Gobble is a San Francisco-based food delivery company, similar to Blue Apron or HelloFresh. They were members of Y Combinator, maybe a number like 14. So that was a few years ago. Chris went down to San Francisco with his family, did the whole startup San Francisco thing, and then moved back here to Toronto to hang out with his friends. But he's still running Gobble Engineering from Toronto. So they have a little co-working space. Shout out to Project Spaces. I guess they're actually not like there anymore, but great spot to work. And here he is. Hi, Chris.
Hey, Matt. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good.
All right. I was just telling everybody. Oh, good. You're wearing the sweater. I hoped you would. I was telling everybody you were in Y Combinator, and I said 14. And is that a 14?
Yeah, winter 14.
Winter. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So that was a while ago now. And I told everybody all about how you moved to San Francisco for a while, did that whole thing. And now you're back and you're still running the engineering side of things. So I think at first it's important to, so obviously Corey and Belinda were talking about a media app and a betting app. You're quite different. So it's meal delivery. So your actual product is food. Meal kits.
Technically, yeah.
Yeah.
Food powered by technology.
Powered by technology. Exactly. So I don't know if you want to give us a bit of info about how someone like goes about getting food, so we understand the technology part.
Well, our biggest lever for getting people to get to food is our sign-up flow, our acquisition funnel, whatever you want to call it. That's what people's first thing is. You land on our homepage or you land on one of our customized landing pages that's targeting a specific demographic or a specific food preference or anything like that. And then from there, you enter a little bit of info. Mostly we need to get where you live because we don't serve the entire United States yet. So we have to check and see if you're eligible. Then you get into our checkout page, where we take your personal infos and your credit card up front, credit card always up front. And then from there, you get dumped into an area where you can look at beautiful meal pictures and select what you'd like to eat over the next 4 weeks.
So I assume there's a constant optimization going on in landing pages, sign-up funnels, getting people's credit cards, and then also optimizations on not only how you would choose the meals that you want to eat for the next 4 weeks, but what meals are offered. I think it's cool if we talk about whatever that you want to talk about, because I think you're pretty involved in all of it. So yeah, is there, I think we were just going to kick it off with something you've done recently that you want to talk about.
Yeah, the sign-up flow is a constant, everyday kind of, we're just laser focused on improving it. What's a bit weird when you get, as a customer, our best customers are the ones that don't use our app. They just let the food arrive every week. We're a weekly subscription. We're automatically recurring and we're opt out. If you don't opt out, the food continues coming. So it's hard when you get to that level to really engage with testing and stuff like that, because in a perfect world, people would never need to come use the app. They trust us. They trust what we send them. They just don't even come in. So we spend
a lot. They don't even pick the food. They're not going in every week.
Nope. They let us. They let our proprietary algorithms pick for them each week, and they're just on autopilot. And as a recurring subscription business, that is the gold standard. So as we drive people towards that by building trust and having an amazing product that shows up on time and all of that stuff, we lose a little bit of what you might have as Amazon can run an A/B test and in 30 seconds have statistical significance. It would take us forever to get there. So from that perspective, we do a lot at the top of funnel, like you're talking about landing pages and the homepage, and just like getting people into that first step. That's where we get the most traffic, and that's where we can do the most impactful things as far as learning about what people are doing and how they're interacting. So from that perspective, what am I saying here? We tend to use a lot of like tools. We don't use traditional A/B testing tools because even still at our top of funnel, to get to statistical significance takes a long time. I tend to err more on the side of feature flags and ways that we can turn something on, see how it develops over time, and then flip it off if it's failing like quickly. I guess it's similar to what Corey was saying about that like reversibility. We try to like build that in from the get-go.
And a feature flag is something that your engineering team has to implement, or do you have a tool to manage all
that? Currently, our stuff is home-baked, but there's a tool called Launch Darkly that has sort of had my eye. I tend to be like evaluating options for anything related to this at all times. And if anyone out there is interested, I believe it's called Launch Darkly, and it's gotten a lot of really good reviews and good feedback about just being able to get feature flagging sort of in quickly and easily.
Okay, cool. Yeah, if anybody out there has used it, let us know. I also see a recommendation for split.io, so let's check. We can check that out.
Nice.
Okay, so cool. So you have, how do you measure your funnels in general? What tool do you use for that?
So we use Heap for that. One thing that I like about Heap is once you've got their JavaScript running, they're just collecting everything. As is the case most of the time, I can't what button some future point. So I love Heap because they're just taking in everything. They're just like every button click, every page view, everything is just getting sucked in. And then when we need it, when we realize, oh, hey, maybe we should take a look at how this particular piece of the funnel is working, we can just hop in there and see like retroactively everything that people have been doing with it over time. So that's like probably the core feature for me that I like about it. But we use it to build funnels, just to like step through the pages of our flow. And we just, we pay attention to our conversion rate from page to page and our overall conversion rate being like how many people are making it from landing page or homepage all the way through to subscribe.
Have you ever done anything that totally messed up one of your funnels and you had to turn the feature flag off? Yeah.
Unfortunately, all the time. Yeah, so the thing with us is because like we're lower traffic from like we're not at Google scale. We're not like crazy traffic. So when we do things, we test, we have to do big swings. It's either like we're totally in this direction or we're totally in the other direction. There's no learnings for us to be had by like changing a button color or something that for a larger scale company might have more significance than it would for us. So when we do big swings, you either win big or you lose big. And there have been a couple times that we've done a bit of a redesign on sort of a hunch just to see how it would react, and it totally tanked.
A whole redesign totally tanked.
Yeah. Well, like we went from stylistically food in the forefront to stylistically person in the forefront. And we thought the hypothesis was people engage with people. But what it turned out to be was no, people want to see food. Even if everyone's showing them food,
it's like when you go in any restaurant, food, so the picture of the food.
Right, but who's the first person you see when you're in the restaurant?
Yep.
Right? Who's the one welcoming you in? It's a person, but sometimes it's just on the web. It doesn't work.
Okay, cool. I have another question about funnels. So I always found that funnels are awesome because you can find, big drops, and you can go, we should focus on that and get that up, right? The amount of conversions from that step 1 to step 2 or whatever. But I wonder if you have any tips and tricks for dealing with, you can accidentally put like basically the wrong people into part of your funnel, and that looks good because you're like, oh, we raised that number, but then it ruins everything else further on. Do you have any tips or tricks on handling that?
So one thing that we've done is we isolate those who go through the funnel with a coupon code from those who go through the funnel without a coupon code. People who have a coupon in hand or discount are way more likely to convert than someone who's coming organically and isn't incentivized with a deal. How many of them are getting through the funnel? That's our like biggest metric. That's like the one that we pay the most attention to. Because if we can convince you without buying you off that our product is awesome, that's where we want to be. So I think that might fit in as one of those little things, is to pay attention to the incentive that someone has when
that's great. Yeah. So you separate them out, because I was always like, oh, you could just tell everyone they get a free iPod if they sign up, and you'll get that. But then it's not what they're signing up for.
Yeah. Yeah, you can game sign up just
exactly.
like you game anything.
Okay, cool. And then I guess tell us a bit about on the food side. Do you have any little sort of like so someone's come in, they've paid, they're like, and I think you have a trial period as well. Is that true?
Not really. Our first week, you get like an extended deadline. You have a couple extra days to decide if you want to commit. But after that, you're just in the flow.
And
week to week.
I guess what percentage of work do you do on the picking the food once they've paid versus getting them to pay?
Getting them to pay definitely takes the lion's share. It'd probably be like 60-70%. And then the 30-40 is usually about optimizing things like page speed, like low to like first meaningful paint, especially in mobile web experiences, making sure that we're getting the page itself, the content to the person as quickly as possible. I think those are the areas there. The weird thing about it is the people are telling us what they're doing by how they're ordering. It's like whether they're ordering and what if they order, what they order. So a lot of how we determine what's doing well happens after the fact, after the sales have closed, and like deep in the database.
I was going to say, I feel like whenever I look at those at any like Canadian similar type of food delivery kit, I'm like, I look around and it's looking good and I'm excited about it, but then they don't have like enough food that I like. I mean, you know me, I'm vegetarian. And, I don't eat starch, so like I can eat almonds. So, but I guess it would be hard. I'm wondering how you figure out it when that's the case, because it's like they clicked around and then left. How do you know if it's like it was too expensive or they didn't like the food, or what? How do you know?
We rely a lot on like little surveys that we try to keep quick and easy, almost like the polls like you have here, but just to get someone on their way out. If they're kind of frustrated, they're willing to give you a little nugget if you make it like a low friction way for them to do it. So we'll just, if we suspect someone to be leaving for one of those reasons, we will pop up a little thing, a couple radio buttons. They can just pick one and be done and send us the feedback. Another thing we pay attention to is full story. I don't think we talked about that yet, but the rage clicks is such a game changer. It's a great way to find out who's frustrated in your app, is like anyone who's doing that, like clicking on the mouse. Like,
so for those of you that don't know, you should definitely check out the app Full Story. It lets you watch people use your app. It's very cool. And it has automatically, it just comes with like a section for rage clicking. So if someone rage clicks, you can watch a video of what made them rage click. Very cool. I think we're pretty much done for time here. So thanks very much, Chris, for joining us.
Awesome.
And good to see you. And you'll be back for questions once Lior is done.
My pleasure.
See you again soon.
Awesome.